Chair Rudolph, we're ready when you are.
Good evening. At this time, I will call the Public Arts Commission meeting to order, our regular meeting for Tuesday, October 10th, 2023, 5 p.m. May I have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Mojica, Commissioner Travis,
Here.
Commissioner Herrera,
Here.
Vice Chair Liebelt,
Yes.
Chair Rudolph.
Here.
And Chair Rudolph, Commissioner Mojica did let staff know she would be delayed, but she will be here.
Thank you. Any public comments? Public comment is the opportunity for members of the public to comment on any item not appearing on the agenda. Please state your name and residence for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. Are there any requests at this time?
Chair Rudolph, I did not receive any requests to speak, but I believe we do have some members of the audience that would like to speak. And is this on something not on the agenda?
Yes, it's the Perez Art District.
Absolutely. Can you please make your way up and state your name and residence for the record?
Thank you so much. So, my name is Barbara Boissavain. I am an artist over at the Perez Art District. I currently reside in Palm Springs, but my studio is here in Cathedral City. And so I wanted to talk today about the Perez Art District and ask your support in giving us more visibility. So Cathedral City has a gem of a resource in our studio complex and has potential to grow and reach tourists and visitors from across the valley and the state and beyond. If you are an art enthusiast seeking a diverse and eclectic experience, the Perez Art District is the place to go. Edgy creativity and innovation define this vibrant district, which showcases many talented artists. Up until now, Perez Art District has been only in buildings H and I, and you can literally see them from here. And what started as a small cluster of art galleries and art studios has grown into a true art district. We now house approximately 30 artists in the H&I buildings, and our district has expanded to include an additional 7 in the A and C buildings. Additionally, the design and home stores in the 68929 building have joined us as part of our district, and some of them joined our art walk in September. We offer a variety of types of art and a unique experience to visitors. Not only can they buy art directly from artists, but they can also see artists working in their studios and view, our different practices. We're open to the public Thursdays through Saturdays, 11 to 3, with many studios open more days and more hours. Additionally, we host a monthly art walk on the fourth Fridays at 4 p.m., running from 4 to 7 p.m. The next one is scheduled for October 27th. Others will also run on November 24th, December 22nd, January 26th, February 23rd, and March 22nd. Cathedral City's tagline is where art lives, and the Perez Art District is where art lives within Cathedral City. So please help us spread the word as well as visit and support our artists. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. We do and have for the last 4 or 5 years always announced at our meetings the first Fridays, but now they're the fourth Fridays, so we will remember to get that correct for you. And I know Ryan puts it out in the city newsletter and bulletin every month, every week. So, but we, and most of us, I believe, have been to support you all there one time or another. So,
You look familiar.
yeah, we appreciate what you do, and we're very glad you're here in the city and calling it your artistic home.
Great. Happy to be here. Thank you for that opportunity.
Great.
Chair Rudolph, I do not have any other requests to speak at this
Sorry.
time. I do not have any other requests to speak at this time.
Chair, that's me. Are there any items on the agenda that need to be pulled or continued to a future meeting?
There are none, Chair. But I would like to ask if item 5 can be brought to item 3. It can, at the board's request, or at the board's desire. I have no problem doing that.
Just because we haven't seen anything since last. So it would be smart to have an update before we start.
I agree.
That's great.
Okay. Does that need a motion?
I'm so sorry, I was out in the...
That's okay.
We're going to be moving item number 5 into the number 3 position.
Nope, we don't need a motion. I can go ahead and do that for you.
And then we'll go 3 and 4.
Just have the discussion of budget before the discussion of the budget requests.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good. Next is the approval of the minutes. The approval of the minutes was from the last regular meeting of September 12th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Are there any requests to speak on this item?
Chair, I did not receive any requests to speak, but if you're a member of the audience and would like to speak on this item, please raise your hand. And I see none, Chair.
Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? No. Do we have a motion and a second?
I move that we accept the minutes as they are.
I second.
We have a motion and a second.
Okay, I'm going to start the e-vote. Vice Chair, if you would please motion. Commissioner Travis, if you would please second. Please vote. Motion passes, all ayes, with Commissioner Mojica absent.
Next, we move into the agenda. The first agenda item is, I guess I could scroll down here. Is the presentation of the city's fall special events lineup. The Cathedral City Communications and Special Events Division is responsible for facilitating special events put on by the city or by outside organizations. Each fall, as the weather cools down, the city's calendar of fall events ramps up to provide a numerous entertainment opportunity for the community and visitors alike. Tonight, we have our city's Communications and Special Events Manager, Ryan Hunt, to make the presentation. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Commissioners, it's good to be with you. It's always a fun, lighter presentation. Hopefully I can bring a few smiles to get excited about what's ahead. And, you know, the Perez Art District, obviously a big part of our fall and winter lineup as well. So I was glad that they were able to speak on that. So we're really trying to focus on attracting new events, not just for the amphitheater, but for downtown, and really more free programming that's available to our residents as well. I know that's been an emphasis and a focus from the City Council on down to really my staff and everybody involved. So the Coachella Valley Battle in the Desert kicks things off this Saturday. That's a returning event to the amphitheater, so we're excited to have that. I believe they've already sold out that event, so it should be a good night that's packed, and I'll get into a little bit more detail about it here in just a bit. The Mayan Festival, which will be on October 21st to the 22nd, which is the next weekend, 2-day event. Street Festival that I'll kind of get into some of the components there, and then we got another nice addition to our amphitheater, the Coachella Valley Bully Fest, which is kind of a dog show affair, which should be a lot of fun for families to attend, and that is going to be in January. So, you know, I'll move into kind of the three that I just discussed. Battle in the Desert, which is this Saturday. Last year we had about 600 attendees. I think we're looking at about 800 to 1,000 this year. Helps raise funds for several charities. I believe the Boys and Girls Club was a part of that group as well. Jesus Gonzalez is the event organizer. He's also a member of our Cathedral City Police Department. In 2022, there was participation from Palm Springs, Beaumont, Los Angeles, the U.S. Marines, United States Border Patrol, and Houston and Fire and Police. So you can see that this is attracting an interest, not just from our local law enforcement and public safety professionals, but also from agencies across the country. And it's all certified through USA Boxing, and so they have a process to go through, make sure everything's going to be health and safety first, but it should be a lot of fun and a good night. I was out there. It was one of my first events starting here at the city last year, and I'm excited. You can see the packed house that it produced here in the amphitheater last year. And then the Mayan Festival, as I mentioned, so should really project a strong local and regional audience as a majority Latino Hispanic community. I think this is a really great one to celebrate that cultural diversity and really. Did I hear something? Oh, sorry.
There's just a cough behind
Cough,
it.
sorry. And then the event has been a partnership with it's now the Hispanic American Chamber is the new title of that particular organization. They were a 501c3 that came in. Our local chamber has also been assisting, as well as communication and events and economic development, featuring folklorical performances, live entertainment, carnival aspect, cultural cuisine, presentations representing Mexico, Central, and South America. So really think of it as a street fair, and I think that's the vibe that we're going for with this one. Rafael Escal, who is the event organizer and taking the lead. The city is really just facilitating as a sponsor. This is a third-party managed and run event, but we're excited to have hopefully really good activity and foot traffic that'll hopefully spill into our restaurants and downtown businesses as well. So we're excited about that one. Again, that's coming up in a couple of weeks on October 21st and 22nd. Coachella Valley Bully Fest, as I mentioned, you can see kind of the custom designed trophies that some of the winning dogs can be awarded for their showing off their special skills. This is an event actually we brought over from Coachella. It had been in Coachella the last few years. They were attracted to our amphitheater venue, and so they reached out to us. We took it to council, and it was fortunately approved with a projected audience of about 1,500 attendees. That's what they've been averaging in Coachella for what will be a Saturday, January 13th event. So not technically fall, but I wanted to give a little bit of a preview and some of the new energy of some of the events that are coming into the amphitheater and the downtown area. So we're excited about this, and want to clarify, if you have a dog that's maybe not competition worthy. I had a blind rescue pug that really just kind of likes sleeping and snoring, and you can bring any dog that you want to the amphitheater. They don't have to be competing to be a part of this event. So you can bring your furry friends and your loved ones there. So I wanted to clarify that. But there is obviously an entry fee associated with the ones that are competing, so it should be a good mixture. And we're bringing in extra cleanup stations to be able to make sure that our amphitheater, which is not currently does not currently allow dogs, will for this special event purpose. So these have kind of been the big staples for Cathedral City that I inherited, and I continue to be really impressed with the audience that they attract, and just try to make them better and enhance each year. And so the Downtown Banner Program, which is really a business sponsorship opportunity that our local businesses take advantage of. You can see them all along Highway 111. The Cathedral City International Hot Air Balloon Festival, which is obviously probably our key signature event, brings in the most tourism for our region, for the Cathedral City area. Cathedral City Halloween Spectacular, which was one of my personal favorites last year. I had a lot of fun with that one. That's coming up again on October 29th. And then Snowfest, as I'll get into greater detail, is expanding back to its all-day version of a Saturday event versus just the Wednesday tree lighting. So the banner program, as I mentioned, you can see it kind of small on the screen there, but that is the new logo design. We got feedback that the bright orange colors really did attract a lot of attention this year. It's cleaner, you're able to see it. The one feedback that we received from business owners was that maybe our logo could be a little bit more prominently featured, and so we're trying to make that a little bit more center cut so you can see it from a prominent visibility. But we're really excited to bring that back again. So we'll be out there early in the morning on November 1st, switching out the old banners with the new banners, and then the old banners are actually donated to Scrap Gallery and Karen Riley, so her kids can use those for reusable materials for arts and crafts. So really great and program that has been very successful to obviously help us continue to generate excitement for events and the money that goes back into that special events budget. But each banner on the logo also gets a billboard placement electronically on the festival lawn as well. Saturday, October 28th is going to be a busy one. I know Antonio Bechu's with us behind me for the Halloween. I know him and the PACE Commission, Parks and Community Events, have been working hard to make that one a huge success. We're excited about that. That's in the morning from 9 to 10:30 a.m. And then right after that, they work together with the Dia de los Muertos Festival to be able to make sure that they didn't overlap and that you can get go from one to the next. So Dia de los Muertos is back this year. Desert Memorial Park Park. That is going to be from 11 to 3, both of those again on Saturday, October 28th. And then that leads in nicely to our Halloween Spooktacular event, which is a really popular one, the costume contest with the kids. It's just incredible to see how much creativity is involved in all of these. And we'll be back with DJ Shauna, who will be out there doing the music, some of the live activities, bike giveaways for the winners for the costume contest, and then live stream will be available too for folks who are able to donate blood out there. And then food for purchase, that I can confirm that is Mr. Zebra once again, that'll have food available for attendees to enjoy. So it should be a really fun event, and it sometimes can be a hot one, but we'll hope for a little bit cooler weather later in the month as we celebrate Halloween Spooktacular. Palm Springs Pride Parade. So we'll be entering as a first half entry participant, meaning that you obviously pay for better placement to be able to make sure people see that. And it's obviously one of the largest Pride celebrations, not just here in California, but across the country. It's a really fun day. Parade setup begins about an hour prior with the Cathedral City contingent. And that was a photo from last year's. Taking You to the Clouds was our theme last year. It was kind of a married promotion for both LGBT days and our Hot Air Balloon Festival that happens a couple weeks later. So stay tuned for details on the design, but we are registered and we're proud to be entered, and it will give us a chance to promote Cathedral City LGBT Days, which is a little later in the spring this year. It was the first week of March, moved it 1 week just to hope for a little bit warmer weather. You can never make a guarantee on that, but that'll be March 8th through the 10th of 2024. Fields of Valor, who you might see a familiar name, Sunshine Herrera, who's running that event, doing a great job. That will be November 4th to 12th, so opening ceremony at 9 a.m. on the 4th, and the honors soldiers from California who served in Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, all of our wars, and really just a very emotional tribute to our servicemen and women who have really paid the ultimate sacrifice. So the static display of the flags will be available for that entire duration, so you can see it from the street, but obviously you can go into Patriot Park and check that out as well. Saturday, November 11th at 9 a.m. is the Veterans Day ceremony, and then closing ceremony will be on November 12th at noon. So we're really excited to support that one, the city being a pseudo-sponsor with providing some lighting and to be able to kind of magnify that look for folks that are driving along Date Palm to be able to see that. So it's a really great event. Cathedral City, so you can see we've added an international branding component. So we have so many pilots from around the world, Belgium, the Netherlands, the UK, and so we wanted to really be able to celebrate that component. We hope to do a little bit of a media engagement event a little bit closer to the festival to kind of announce the unveiling of that with our title sponsor, Agua Caliente Casinos, who's been tremendous as a title sponsor for this event for the past several years. So we're excited to be with them again and to be promoting this event for November 17th through the 19th. I won't go through the whole list. It's a long list. Obviously, it's a big event, but we start off Thursday morning, which is kind of our media kickoff with the balloon launch that actually takes place at the Agua Caliente Casinos property in Rancho Mirage. We do a bunch of media interviews, we pump up the weekend, we get everybody excited, and then there's balloon launches available throughout the entire weekend. The food truck fiestas, both Saturday and Sunday, Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So we've added a Friday component. The Balloon Festival traditionally used to be just a Saturday, Sunday event. We've added that Friday component to be able to add a little bit more to it. And then the drone light show will be back Friday night this year, hopefully choreographed to music. We thought that was kind of the one missing component. We were able to do it for LGBT Days. We weren't able to do it for the Balloon Festival. So the car show will be back, the tethered balloon rides that are available for the kiddos and families, or those who are a little bit afraid of heights, who are of adult age, who want to get in the tethered rides as well. And then the Academy of Music Instrument Zoo is a bunch of kids that get up there and play kind of like classic rock, and it's really kind of just a really cool experience to see, and they're really talented as well. So, and then it rounds out with the Special Shapes pancake breakfast. That's where all the cute Star Wars characters, and you can kind of walk and see all of those. That's at Big League Dream Sports Park. That'll once again close out the festival on Sunday. North Pole Village at Snowfest, who I mentioned. I know Sunshine's also on that committee with us as well. We've been working hard. That title sponsor will be back once again as Comfort Air. And so they were a great title sponsor last year, and they've actually upped their commitment this year. So we're really excited to have an all-day event for Snowfest. It was just traditionally the last couple of years after COVID, it had really just been the tree lighting. And the biggest feedback that we received overwhelmingly was, great event, but could you make it on a Saturday? And so once we could make it on a Saturday, we might as well go back to what we know this event can be. And so we're really excited to have 20 structures. We've sold, I think, 18 out of the 20 already, which is really, really pretty impressive. And so we'll have the Grinch back. We'll have the train in downtown again. I'm going to show a little clip from NBC Palm Springs here in just a second to kind of show you what that event used to look like and what we hope it can get back to. We're always looking for ways for our public safety professionals to get with the community and do that kind of community policing and public safety. And so they'll be doing story times, Dr. Seuss themed books for the holidays. The Elf Workshop from Scrap Gallery was a huge hit last year. It will be again this year. We're giving her a little bit more space and room to work out there. And the North Pole Village actually stays up through the first weekend of Palm Springs International Film Festival. And they really like that because the Pickford Theater right down the street obviously has their movies that are available from the festival to be able to have a little bit more of like a selfie opportunity for, it's just nice to see downtown lit up, and hopefully we'll have some music that you can kind of hear that'll play all the way till 10 o'clock, so that make it festive and kind of have everybody be able to experience that. Should be a lot of fun. So the setup for that starts after Thanksgiving. The actual tree lighting all-day event is on Saturday, December 9th. And then this is just a little clip, fun clip that NBC Palm Springs did back in 2019.
It certainly was a very busy weekend. We were both out and about.
We were indeed, and this past weekend was busy around the valley. Of course, on Saturday night, Cathedral City celebrated CCC with Snowfest. I was honored to be part of the celebration. It was all about Santa and the lighting of the tree.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas from Cathedral City.
To the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
Up in the mountains there, but once in a while I come down and see what these dudes are doing.
So we're excited to bring some of that back for downtown. I think it'll be a really special day and evening for Cathedral City. So also want to just give a kind of a teaser to some of the events. I've mentioned a few of these. We're proud to be a sponsor once again of the Palm Springs International Film Festival. So that'll be January 4th to the 15th, 2024. Coachella Valley Bully Fest, which I mentioned, will be January 13th. And then the yoga program, which was a huge hit in the amphitheater from our Parks and Community Events Commission, will be January 23rd to March 26th. And then Taste of Jalisco, February 2nd through the 4th. The Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, which the city sports, is February 22nd through the 25th. And then Cathedral City LGBT Days, as I mentioned, will be a week later on March 8th to the 10th. Also gives us a little more breathing room in between promotion of Taste of Jalisco and really give LGBT Days the chance to thrive from a marketing standpoint. So, And then just a little bit of a teaser for what we're working on, more details to come, but we really are excited about Tastes and Sounds of Cathedral City. February 13th through April 9th is a weekly Tuesday night experience in the amphitheater, partnership of local restaurants and local music. So we hope to have different theme nights, maybe a Pride night for LGBTQ+, or the, kind of a Hispanic Heritage Night. We want to really do things that reflect the diversity of this community and celebrate it in a big way. A country music night, pop music, so we really want to get a different flair, involve the high schools. I think Councilmember Gutierrez has suggested kind of a Battle of the Bands night, so we're working on that too. And we want to give a special shout out to our high school students. You saw them there in the clip. Snowfest, they'll be a part of Snowfest again, and then our folklorico groups. If you missed them at Homecoming, you'll get a chance to see them again at Halloween Spooktacular. So really excited about what's to come, especially this Tastes and Sounds of Cathedral City. So like I said, more details to come. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions that you have.
I'm just curious, how many balloons participate in the Balloon Fiesta?
Oh, it's quite a few. It's probably in the 20 to 30 range. Okay. Yeah.
I think I have a question and then just I have a statement.
Yeah.
I think it's great that Rachel with Romans Frenchies, she's actually one of our constituents here in the city. I think it's great that she was able to move that event back home to our city. I think that's great. Go Bully Fest. My other question is, though, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, you call them structures, but I know that the storefronts for North Pole Village, those actually belong to the PAC. Am I correct?
They started out as a PAC, yes,
so is
initiated.
that something that the PAC should have upkeep? Because I don't think we've actually talked about the upkeep or what we can do for the upkeep of those storefronts. I don't think they had an upkeep since before COVID, correct?
Yeah, so, we did some light touch-ups last year. This year will be a lot more significant as far as some of the touch-ups with the new sponsorships. So we try to marry what the business wants with the store village front. Yeah, you said structure. It's really more of a village front. It's probably more accurate.
I think the PAC at some point should talk about what we can do to keep those storefronts, because I think that's our, would you say, presence during North Pole is those storefronts. So at some point, we're going to have to talk about what we can do every year, I guess, to keep the upkeep on those, because I don't think we've even talked about the upkeep since before COVID. But those are our structures, so you know.
Am I understanding this, the sponsors, whoever sponsors them, do they do the upkeep when they sponsor them?
No, it's right now being maintained by the city.
The city
we have an
pays
air
for that,
conditioning
got it.
storage unit. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
the annual
Okay.
payment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So would welcome the dialogue and the partnership with
those are
PAC
our
for sure.
pieces.
Gotcha, okay.
But I believe the money did come out of our maintenance.
It did originally, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, though. That's a great note, and would love that synergy and partnership.
At some
moving
point, I
forward.
do think the PAC needs to talk about it, though.
Yep.
Sure.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Any other questions?
Sounds great.
Great.
I love the last one. That's something new, the Taste and Sounds.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah, it should be really fun. So council vacated Tejano Music Fest, and with that secured funding, we were able to create kind of a new event. We really want events that are going to activate the amphitheater on a weekly basis for residents to be able to enjoy. It's not a prime night as far as Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it's not really competing with some of the big events. Just a really local community event that I think could be really successful.
You said Tuesday nights? Or
Tuesday
what?
nights.
Tuesday night, okay.
Yep.
Great.
Thank you, Ryan, for
Thank
all
you all.
do.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We
Thank
hope
you.
to have several items for you coming up in the next month or two that you can help us promote.
Looking forward to it, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we're going to the next item, which is on your lineup, item number 5, but will be moved to number 3, which is the Art in Public Places funds for 23 and 24.
Chair Rudolph, just one moment. I want to ask for public comments on that last item.
Sorry.
It's okay. I did not receive any requests to speak, but if you are a member of the public and wish to speak on the previous item, raise your hand. And I see none, so we'll move on.
Now we move on to item number 3, formerly known as item number 5.
Chair Rudolph, Commissioners, good afternoon. So the item before you is just a little bit of a report on what funds are available in the Art and Public Places funds for our current fiscal year, which is 2023-2024. And so as we've talked about before, but we also have a new commissioner, so to just give a little bit of background, that the Art in Public Places Fund is funded from developer contributions. So all new commercial and industrial projects over 15,000 square feet, remodels, repair, reconstruction of existing commercial and industrial with a building permit value of over 100,000, except for acts of God, which would be what we just experienced with the flooding. And some public facilities that are over 15,000 square feet are required to install public art. And so developers have two options. They can either contribute funds to the Art in Public Places Funds, established pursuant to our municipal code, or they can, in lieu of the fee, they can, let's see, hold on. I think other than, they can do that in lieu, fee paid by the project applicant at the time of issuance of the certificate of occupancy. They also can elect to do their own piece of public art and not have that as, and not pay the fee for that. But they shall indicate on their building permit what they would like to do. And then we've been waiting for our finance department to complete their closeout of the prior fiscal year to kind of see where we ended. And I got this right before I went on vacation last week, so I haven't been able to look at and give a further breakdown of what the total of the expenditures were. But the beginning balance as of June 30th, so what was left unspent from last year, was $402,998. We received $45,962 in developer fees last year and had $71,169 in expenditures, leaving us a fund balance of $377,791. And so previously the council has directed that of the funds available, that $100,000 be set aside in a reserve account for maintenance, damage, economic uncertainty, and repairs. And then there's an additional $40,000 that is allocated to our Public Works or Facilities Department for general maintenance, cleaning, supplies, and storage. And so with those two obligations, that leaves $237,791 available for the activities of the Public Arts Commission to make recommendations on. The past practice, and I believe per the municipal code, at the discretion of the commission, you can allocate up to 30% of the total funds for arts education. And the council through the municipal code has put the description of education pretty broadly, so that it isn't just pigeonholed to like fine arts or creative arts, but music and dance and poetry and photography and other things could be considered as part of arts education type activities. So the maximum that can be allocated for that is $71,337, and then leaving $166,000 for physical art that could be acquired for various projects. So in this fiscal year, at our last meeting, which is really our first meeting in this fiscal year, the Public Arts Commission approved a recommendation to provide $750 to the Scrap Gallery for their upcoming Dia de los Muertos event. And that is on the council agenda this coming Wednesday. And then below the line are either projects that are either on tonight's agenda or are projects that have come into my office that were not in time to come to the agenda tonight and will be on a future agenda, as well as two grant applications that came to the City Council for funding that the council has directed they be brought back to the Public Arts Commission to consider because they were more related to arts education, which is the Wild Women and Desert Art Women Gallery Art programs. They'll come back to you in November, as well as the Agua Caliente Elementary School sign that they had sought funding from. And then the Youth Training Orchestra sponsorship for a chamber music series. That particular email came in on October 2nd, and I completed the agenda on October 3rd. And so because I was on vacation, did not have sufficient time to put a whole staff report item together for you. So those three items will come back to the Public Arts Commission. The other thing for you to consider and for us to probably have a discussion about is identifying and setting a proposed budget for the median art piece for the Ramon and Landau project, and then an art piece for the Dream Homes Park project. So that, for the Dream Homes, that'll be the one that will happen sooner than the Ramon and Landau median construction. Dream Homes is intended to complete construction in 2025, I believe, and there is a center kind of place as you enter the main entrance in there that we've kind of designated as a place that would be really great for a public art piece. My experience and understanding of the community is that the community has been extremely involved with the Pace Commission and with the city on the construction of that park. There is going to be a group working on the naming of the park because they want to rename it from Dream Homes Park. They're trying to kind of establish some new identity in that community. And so at the time that this commission is ready to have those discussions about this, we would really work with the Pace Commission and with the committee that is formed from that community to really provide feedback on what they'd like to see when they come up with their decided upon name, if there's any meanings or things that are important to that community that will need to be considered as part of what this project is. As I understand in the history that there had been a piece of art that the city had that I think there was a time that it was a discussion of bringing that piece of art to that community, and the community was very much against it. That I think at the time it was, I think they felt like it was it's kind of leftovers that were being put there versus a very thoughtful piece that was reflective of both the community as well as the new park. So I think we have a couple of opportunities for two significant pieces that will be coming up that I think we'll need to determine a committee to work on each of these projects, and we need to determine a budget and start figuring out what the acquisition process is going to be, as well as the community engagement piece. So that is the overall, and then we have a funding request on this evening. So that is kind of, about where we're at. So if, again, the maximum available in the arts and education, if the board approves all of the funding requests before you at the various meetings, would leave a balance of $44,787. And then for the permanent art piece with the $13,200 we currently have budgeted for the Ocotillo bench painting projects, and then the request that'll be coming forward next month for the Agua Caliente School would leave a balance of $150,753 for permanent art. So the thing that's a little challenging about the Art in Public Places Fund is that we don't know how much is going to come in. It all depends on what kind of development comes in the door and the size of that development. If no development comes in, there's no new funds. And so we have to partially be mindful of just having the reserves available so that we can maintain the art pieces that we have, but also that we have to just be cognizant of what we want to prioritize to spend money on, because once the money's gone, if nothing new comes in, then we have to either build back up to have significant funds to do other big pieces or have for educational outreach, et cetera. So that is kind of where we're starting our fiscal year, which is really where we're at right now. Even though we're almost at mid-year, our fiscal years start July 1 through June 30th. I just wanted to get that in front of you, so if there's any questions that I could help answer or get additional information, that I could have some time to present that. So welcome, Commissioner. So with that, I will turn it back to the commissioners for any questions or comments.
I have a couple questions. Yeah. For the things coming back in November, is council stating that that's something we have to do?
No, the council is stating that for the two items that had come to the council had a community grant program, and they had, I think it was $70,000 to fund projects. And at the last, I think it was the last city council meeting, they had approved $70,000 worth of expenditures to the number of organizations. For these two requests, the council did not fund them because they felt that they were better suited to come to the Public Arts Commission for consideration. They did not say that they recommended any funding. They're looking to the commission for your recommendations on whether they should be funded or at what level they should be funded. But they did ask that it come back to the Public Arts Commission for your consideration and review.
Okay, so does this paper go out to the public?
It can. It's part of the budget. It's part of this presentation, so it's a public document.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is I looked this up for the ones that are on the actual website, and this one doesn't come up. And the only reason why I'm asking is because, so you guys have this, and I brought this up before, it's project under construction, right?
No, it's projects under consideration. They're not under construction.
Okay, so under consideration. Before we even had this meeting today, we didn't even know what any of these were except the Ocotillo Park. So I'm confused as to why they're even on the budget, if we haven't even talked about them. Does that make sense? Like it came out before the meeting that we even, so I mean, I'm kind of having problems with that. I mean, just like the ones for the Women in Desert Arts, like we haven't even talked about that, but yet you have it on the budget, and the way the budget is looking, like we are always already saying that, okay, this is where it's going to be allotted to, and I have a problem with that, because under here, the only thing that's really under construction would be Ocotillo Park benches.
Yeah, as I put on the agenda, being that they had all come in simultaneously, within the last few weeks, the only reason I put this on here is because they're going to be on your November agenda, which is what I indicated on there. Not that that they're going to be under the consideration of the Public Arts Commission, but in no way is that indicating that you have made any approvals on it.
I just want to make sure that that's what's going out to the public, because that's not what this is stating. Like we've never even seen any of these except, like I said, I mean, yes, the art pieces for the dream homes, it was sort of talked about, but there's not a money amount. So I mean, I'm just having a problem with the things being on here, because if the public is seeing this, they're not reading it the way it's coming across, or the way you're having it come across.
And I think maybe I can clarify in this section that these were, which projects have been approved or which are under consideration.
Well, I mean, maybe you can put it on there as coming to the next meeting, right? Because you're lumping these in with something that's already been approved, which is the Ocotillo benches. That money's been approved, so yeah, that's under construction.
It's not under construction.
Or
PUC is not under construction. Consideration.
Again, consideration, but it's not even. We've already considered it and said yes to it, so that's even wrong.
I can certainly put that into a different category, that these were approved budgets, and then put the rest under a different category of, that are,
just so it's clear, I just don't want it to go to the public, and then, like I said, I'm a commissioner, and I didn't know what the other stuff was on here, but it looks like we've already, is considered, but we didn't. It's not even going to be considered to another meeting. So, I mean, I don't know if we wait to the other meeting to actually put it on there.
Well, this is not your approved budget. This is, the only reason that I put it there was to let you know that you have 3 more requests coming in for the next meeting.
And I get that, but it's with something that's already been approved.
Okay, I can amend this document to show that differently, that that's already an approved project and that the rest are
I just want to make sure that the public understands that any time we can say no to any of these, the only thing that we have already approved is the Ocotillo one.
Right. Yeah. The other 2 that I put, those have been projects discussed by the commission before, both Dream Homes Park and the median piece for Ramon. So I put it there for the board to recognize that those are things already committed to and that do need to have a budget determination made.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, one of them might not even, like, I think I even have a problem with those being on there, because the ones for the one that's in the park, the Dream Homes Park, we don't even know if we're going to spend money on that. We don't know, because I mean, before we were trying to put the birds of something.
The community totally rejected that.
I was here when that happened, but the whole point is there's not a money amount on there for a reason, because I think the commission itself still needs to talk about how or what we're going to do with that. So I mean, we're putting it on there as, but I mean, I think that just needs to come back as an agenda item, and then once we figure out how much, maybe put it on there as a number.
That's why it's there as a placeholder, that needing the commission's determination of what that number is.
I just want to make sure that this is clear as can be, and people aren't thinking that we're making decisions before we even come to a meeting that we're going to spend that, when that's not even something that's happened.
Yeah, no, I can easily change that table to reflect more what you're saying.
Thank you.
That's easily done. Any other questions? All right.
Any public comment at this time?
Chair, I did not receive any requests to speak, but if you're a member of the public that wishes to speak on this item, please raise your hand. And I see none, Chair.
Thank you. We move next to the next agenda item, which is number 3 in your packet, and that is funding request for Old Gays book signing and panel discussion. And we have the staff recommending the Public Arts Commission consider this item for funding, and if approved, direct the item to be brought to City Council for approval. The sponsor for this is Commissioner Travis.
I will turn it over to Commissioner Travis for the report.
Thank you very much. I have Antonio here, who's from the PACE committee, and he's going to come up and speak. He's Do
we have the book to go up there, or we do?
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming back up.
Okay, great.
Bit of a delay.
All right, well, before I start, after all that, I'm bringing you a very inexpensive project. So I'm Antonio Bishu. I'm the commissioner for the vice chair for Parks and Community Events. We're proposing a collaboration between PACE and PAC, and the agenda item tonight is with Rick Travis. Now, before we go further, does everyone know who the Old Gays from TikTok are? Yes. Everybody?
I looked them up, yeah.
Okay, so just in case somebody's at home, they have 11 million followers on TikTok, and they are huge. They have a book coming out on November 28th from HarperCollins. The title of the book is The Old Gays Guide to Good Living. Commissioner Travis and I are proposing a panel discussion, book signing at Mary Pickford Theater on November 30th at 6 p.m. The ticketing will be done through the Mary Pickford Theater. PACE has approved our portion of the $1,600 budget for this event. Tonight, your vote will be for the cost of the theater rental, which includes the lighting, the audio, and the ticketing. HarperCollins has picked out a moderator for the event at no cost to the commissions. We have partnered with the bookstore and an independent bookstore in Palm Springs. They're called Best Bookstore. And they will cover the sale of all the books. In the past, I have attended some of the events that PAC has done. They did the at Mary Pickford, and they did the gentleman that won the Academy Award for the music from La La Land, and it was a great event. And they did the gentleman that won the Academy Award for The Darkest Hour, and that was a great event also. So this is sort of that situation. It'll be a panel discussion followed by a book signing up on the mezzanine. The city, if we pass here tonight, we'll be going to the city council for a vote, and this current council has honored them 2 years ago at LGBT Days when they hit 6 million followers. So they know who they are, so it shouldn't be a problem. With that, any questions?
Yes. Are the tickets is there going to be a charge for the tickets?
The tickets are free. We are a public commission. So Commissioner Travis and I have been a mountain of obstacles to get to the point where we had to find a bookseller. We had to, to make sure that the event would be more in the mission statement of each of our commissions.
So therefore, it is open to the public.
Yes, it will be. We don't know when the ticketing go live, and so we will be able to snag tickets for the commissions, for the council, and for city staff, and for people that we need to give tickets to. But then everything will go live, and it'll be first come, first serve. And then there are also tickets that they'll already have their seats.
And has this been approved by the Parks and Events Commission?
We passed it last week.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Our portion of it will cover the refreshments and the other $200 from the theater.
Great.
So if the commission approves it this evening, and either way, it'll go back to the council at their next meeting, not tomorrow's meeting, but the following one.
So I have a couple questions myself. For your guys' Parks Commission, who's on your ad hoc committee?
I'm sorry, what is
So
that?
usually when we work commission to commission, there's two people that come from here that go to the other commission because of the Brown Act. We all cannot talk about this.
Okay, so Commissioner Herrera is the liaison to this commission. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's what so is he?
Well, we have this gentleman here.
No, they're not the liaison, they're for Ocotillo Park. They're the two that went on we don't have liaisons, we only have sponsors, and so.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you introduced yourself as the liaison between our commissions.
He's on the ad hoc committee for Ocotillo Park.
Okay.
That's where I'm kind of confused, because this commission hasn't talked about this. Like, so when you guys are talking to put this on, who's putting the event on?
Our commissions are putting the event
You're
on.
correct. So have you seen the contract, Travis, with Mary Pickford?
No, we're bringing the.
We're just at the beginning stage of this. I mean, we need to find out if we can actually do this with the commissions, and then if you want a contract, we'll get a contract.
Well, no, the only reason why I'm asking is because of the Browns Act, all of us cannot talk about this. The same thing on your guys' commission. You can only have two. That's how come the ad hoc committee is there.
Okay, so I've only talked with Mr. Travis.
So if this is just the beginning of this.
We're at the very beginning, yes.
We have to talk as a commission to get an ad hoc committee going, correct? That way there's two people always working, and they can come back and tell us what is going on, because I can't go and talk about this, right? So that's how come we do the ad hoc. And everything from Ocotillo Park, like Ann just said right now about the dream home, she has to figure out who the ad hoc committee is going to be to work on that with parks. But I feel like we've put the cart before the horse on this one, and I have so many questions.
No. We have, okay, so we have come up with an idea.
Correct.
We passed it through our commission. We met with everybody. See, we've never done something like this. So we had to go to the theater, we had to get a price. We got a price on the refreshments, and then we went through our commission and we passed our portion of it. What I'm asking tonight is to pass the other portion of the theater part. And I understand that you want more communication. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is I want to make sure that if we're going to do this, we do this right. And I'm able to ask questions.
You're able to ask questions right now.
I'm able, because you're bringing it, but usually we have an ad hoc committee who's going to come back, and I should be able to ask him about all these questions, because I won't be able to ask questions going forward. You guys will be.
Well, I think it sounds like this has been something that the two commissioners have kind of come up with to come up as a presentation.
So the 800. Did any of you other three okay an 800 or talk about any money going towards this since we're working together?
That's why the agenda was brought forward tonight for you to consider it.
That's not how it works. Usually it comes before our board and we talk like, okay, whoever's going on, they come forward and we say, okay, thank you for giving us this thing. We talk among ourselves. We go and we make an ad hoc committee. That ad hoc committee goes and talks to them, which they would come up with some type of number. They would bring that back to us. Then we would discuss it and approve it. But that didn't happen.
Do you have a specific question tonight?
That is my question.
Okay,
what is the ad hoc committee?
Well, here's the thing.
I'm going to intervene because this is,
Go ahead.
I need the commissions not to kind of disrupt one another. Right. I think it just depends on the item that comes before you. I think this was something that a commissioner from our group and a commissioner from the Parks group brought forward and asked to put this on the agenda for a funding request. So the discussion of the commission is what you're doing tonight. If you, as a commission, feel that there is a need for an ad hoc committee other than the one person that's already been worked on it, I think that's something that you could identify tonight, or if you need more than one person to do this event. I think it's certainly appropriate for you to, if you are considering and want to approve the funding for it, based on timing wise, it would have to be approved tonight to be able to have time to go to the city council to be able to fund it. So the funding request would, if the board wishes to consider the funding, the item before you is to approve the funding.
You want us to fund something. This is where you're wanting us to fund something and you want us to work on something with you, correct?
It's a collaboration between the two commissions. We really haven't had that many. I don't know how many collaborations there have been. I'm just saying that if we could just have a little blind faith tonight, and I promise you the next collaboration we do, we'll do it that way. But right now, this is a time-sensitive thing. The book comes out on November 28th. And so we've got to get the funding from our commission, from your commission, to go to the city council. It's a time-sensitive issue. So in the future, we'll figure out a way to work on collaborations in a different way.
Okay, so Ann, we are working right now with Ocotillo Park.
Right.
you're getting ready to work or wanting us to work with them again that you just announced that we want to do for the dream homes, right?
Yes.
So let's take Ocotillo Park, and this is how we've worked with the other commissions, right? Because what ended up happening is the Brown Act is going to come in, and we as other commissioners on here are not going to be able to ask questions. That's how come there has to be an ad hoc committee. Yes, I understand Travis is in front of this, but Travis, have you seen the contracts? Who's going to be asking the questions? How far is this commission going to be involved? Are you going to need, is people... Is Craig going to go and speak? Do you see what I'm saying?
So the agreements will be with the city, not the commission. So the commission is just approving funding to do the agreements, and just like the council, it'll approve, the funding for it. But the PACE Commission itself won't be authorizing the contracts. The city will.
Okay, so we're basically just paying for something and then walking away. That's the collaboration. I just want to make sure that's the truth.
Well, I think it's beyond that.
We're actually going to work on a great event together.
Yeah.
You're not walking away.
So
we have to have
work
people
together.
help serve the refreshments. We have to have
Work together means what? That's what we're skipping here.
together. Okay, so the funding is $1,600.
I understand
Your
that.
commission is not allowed to do refreshments.
That's correct.
So what we're having you do is come up with $800 for the theater rental. As far as us working together, it's a great, worthwhile event for these people. Are the biggest thing to happen out of the city since Timothy Bradley. So
Commissioner Bechu, I guess, I think maybe to the point that Commissioner Herrera is, so beyond the funding request, being that this is the last meeting of this commission before the event,
Right.
are there other activities that you would like to request assistance from the commissioners for day of, or, in the help of promotion of it? Are there other activities aside from working with one commissioner that
I was going to
these
have
commission-
them, well, we have refreshments to serve. We're going to have a holiday caramel popcorn to serve out. We have water, we have wine, we have ice cream.
Okay.
So we're going to have those things on trays. We just need help, people to volunteer and help on this.
Okay, so you see, that's where I understand this is time sensitive, but you brought this to the board, and I feel like we're considered enough when we work with your board. Something's not time sensitive. Your board is able to go back, talk among yourselves. And today, I just feel like I'm kind of bombarded saying, you're going to do this because of time sensitivity.
Commissioner Bechu, I'm going to ask you to not comment for just a minute. Okay.
So our first meeting was canceled because of what happened in our city.
Correct.
So maybe if we had that first meeting, we've been able to work more on this. But we didn't have a meeting. You're on your second meeting this year. We just had our first. So we are behind you. So it's going to be a great event.
I don't doubt that, and I think these grades are going to be really, really great too. But I think going on, like this council, this commission's not going to be able to talk, because as soon as we approve this, we're approving working with them, and then we're going to go back and then create a committee to ask questions to. We don't even have a committee.
I guess I don't see what the need for the committee is. It seems like for this event that it's a very limited focus. It's going to be a limited term. There's already a commissioner that was kind of the co-creator of bringing this idea, that sponsored bringing it to you. So I don't know that you would necessarily have to create another commission, or if you wanted to just determine that.
It's not a commission, it's an ad hoc committee, and we've always done it when we worked with another commission, just so that ad hoc committee can come back and fill us in, and we can ask all the questions we need to. I just asked 5 questions, and he couldn't answer them. So
what were the questions?
What are you going to have? What else do you need besides the money? Are we going to do anything else
Well,
with
I wanted
this?
you to show up and help volunteer for the event.
So
they'll
who's
be
gonna-
greeting the people, letting them know that the books are available over in the corner, and people should buy the book before the thing starts, because then they'll be able to save themselves time. We need someone to work on the stairs, someone to work on the elevator. Some of the people that are come to the event are not going to be able to do stairs, so we'll need someone at the elevator. We'll need someone at the top of the stairs. We'll need someone. We're going to put a bunch of chairs together for people that
Antonio,
can't stand for a long time. So
this is not against you, but this is what
I'm not feeling attacked. So just
this is what he should be letting us know.
Go ahead and talk to me about it.
Right. Okay. So if you're going to do this, who is going to be your second?
Well, I would love to have a second. Since I've been here one time, and this is my second meeting, I'm doing the very best I can to do that.
Correct.
Commissioner Travis, Commissioner Travis, I'm so sorry. Can you speak up into the...
Gotcha. Thank you for reminding me. I ask her to remind me every time. But anyway, so what happens is Yeah, I would love a second. I don't have a problem with that.
How did we come up for the 1,600? How did we come up with 800 for the number? How did we come up with all
because
that?
we went to the theater and we talked to the gentleman, Ted, who's very, very pro-city, and they charge $2,500 for that event.
space,
So,
normally.
Yeah, we came up with, it was
$1,000
for that, right? And then the 600 was for the refreshments that they're going to be.
That the Public Arts Commission will be funding.
So it's 1,600 total. So it was a really great opportunity.
And the rest of it's volunteer.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. We love that. We love all the volunteers.
It's going to be a busy night. People are going to sit down and, people have trays.
Yeah,
Ice cream.
it's-
Ice cream's
and
going to
I think
get,
it's
so ice cream's going to melt if it doesn't get out.
Given that it's time sensitive, so how is the word going to get out? Obviously, the bookstore is going to promote it because that benefits them. Obviously, the city
It's going to
can.
be on TikTok, obviously.
Oh, TikTok.
Well, besides that, we were going to rely on Ryan Hunt to put a press release out. This is going to sell out right away. All right, the tickets are free and they're huge.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
What she's asking is just like the breakdown of what you just gave us.
Right.
1,000 for the theater, 600
Exactly.
for refreshments, the rest of it's volunteers, the bookstore's involved, city can help promote it. This
Yeah.
is kind of the detail, that's what we're asking for, is
Sure.
just some of the details around it.
This is a time-sensitive item, and in the future, when we do have joint ventures between the commissions, Commissioner Herrera is correct that we should have a subcommittee that normally would do this, but just like the funding request last meeting for us, we knew nothing about it until we walked into the room and we approved them. So this is somewhat similar in that range, and I think I would like to make a motion to approve the funding.
I have a few questions.
Oh, and I apologize.
Thank you. I've been waiting. It's okay. Thank you. I just have a couple questions I jotted down earlier. So I was wondering, you mentioned the bookstores covering the cost of the books.
Yes,
Can
so.
you elaborate on that a little bit?
Okay, so initially HarperCollins wanted us to have a book involved with every seat. We can't do that, we're public commission. So we did everything we could to make it align with our mission statements of what we do here. So we are not in the book selling business. We partnered with Best Bookstore in Palm Springs, and they will be selling 125 books. So if they sell them all, that's great, and if they don't sell all of them, that's still on them. It has nothing to do with us.
Okay, so the ticketing is completely separate from the
Yes, and the ticketing is
book
free
sales.
through the system of the Mary Pickford Theaters.
Okay, and then in terms of capacity, do you know already how many folks from the community would be able to attend the event?
210 seats.
Okay, 210 seats. And then in terms of ticketing, is online the only way that people will be able to get a ticket, or is there anything reserved for in-person?
It'll be through the system. Go ahead.
Okay, just because a large portion
sure.
of our community is seniors that maybe are not online savvy, or I don't know, just
Also,
thinking of
what we
inclusivity.
could do is with the tickets too, like if you know seniors that would be interested, we could give you the tickets to give to them. You're like, and then, but what it is Ted suggested that we go through the ticket office, and the reason is that now you have an assigned seat, so you don't spend like a half an hour trying to figure out your seat. Now you have an assigned seat and everything's done and it's free. So I thought but that would be another thing we could do is like you could promote it to people who you think might be interested and would enjoy that.
Commissioner, I guess for either of the commissioners, is with the event, are they allocating a certain number of seats for city use? Like you said, for reserved or whatever, before they open it up? And
before they go live, we're going to probably snag about 50 tickets because there's the senior center, there's a lot of groups that we would like to, and there's a group called Safe Space, and it's a bunch of gay kids that are, I just know the person that's involved with it, and we'd like to give some of those kids some of the tickets also. So those are the tickets, but then the rest will go live on the ticketing thing. And I want to just apologize for the, if I was naive about the process, but we do have a great event for you. Okay.
Yes, I have a couple questions. So, Travis, when it says that we are going to be sponsoring or buying the ticketing, what does that mean?
We're not sponsoring or buying the ticketing. They just have to, they're going to have tickets that are available that are for free, but they just will have a a seat number on it, so it will be less confusing on the day of the event, and it will go smoother. And that's from the Mary Pickford Theater, because they have experience in these events, and they said it really works well that way if it's not a cost to it, but to have a ticket. And also by having a ticket, a person will probably show.
And I imagine that being that this is going to be a popular event, that they would also be concerned about it being overloaded.
Also, Travis, how come that you didn't bring the request for the commission, our commission, to actually buy books and then hand them out for free, considering that you guys are trying to go at this as an educational thing? How come you guys didn't go that route? I mean, I would have liked to go that route instead of, well, that's why this is one of the reasons why they should have had an ad hoc committee, and it should have came before us to talk about it, because we're taking this out of our funds for education and we're paying for a theater. It's almost like we're just doing an event. As a commissioner, as an arts commissioner, I would have loved to see that, like our commission buy the books and then gave those for free to the people coming. That would have been an awesome idea to have that come across here. And also, so you guys say you're having a panel discussion, right? Who's running the panel discussion?
HarperCollins, I think you said?
HarperCollins selected a local podcaster, and the podcaster's name is Brent Berner. It's from a podcast called Gaze Reading, and they mean that literally. It's about books, not reading, but it's... They've interviewed them before, and they did really well, so HarperCollins really wants them to do it.
So the book publisher is the one that,
selected them because they've worked with them in the past.
Okay.
And Ann, I'm pretty sure that you already talked to them. We can use this to get the funds for the theater out of our education fund.
That's why I put it before it. It is appropriate for that kind of use. It was just the original request or discussion was about using it for the refreshments, and I advised the commissioners that it was not, that we couldn't, for this commission, couldn't be used for refreshments.
Okay. Yeah, Travis, next time if we can have a discussion and then an ad hoc, that way you can just come back and give us the information we need.
And you're welcome to, you and I can talk, two of us sometime, and you can share all those things with me. Awesome.
I just think like at the...
Welcoming that, maybe we could schedule that.
At the next, I don't want to schedule that outside of this, but at the next meeting, and if we could bring this back on so we can properly put an ad hoc committee together, just in case, like I said, I don't know what's coming next, or if they do want people to go help out, because usually, just like with your guys's thing that you guys did for Mary Pickford, right? Like if we were going to do that together, you had two of your guys's people there, you and Angel, right? Over here at Mary Pickford, right? It would be the same thing. Like if we were to do that together, then you'd have two here, and that would come back.
See, unfortunately, this event will be over with before the commission meets again, I believe. So that was the urgency of the timing of this.
This is going to happen what day?
The event is on November 30th at 6 p.m.
No, we'll have another commission meeting.
It has to go to the council at their next meeting.
Yeah, that has nothing. You're going to put it for the funding today to go to council. But I mean, maybe that's something that... that we just put together something, that way they can come back and they can say, hey, we did this, we were involved this way, and this is how things went. Because if we're going to do stuff together, I just want to make sure you have a point of contact, because if not, then you're going to have to come back to the whole commission again.
Okay.
So is it a desire of the commission, in addition to, I think Commissioner Travis has been the lead and the sponsor of this, is there somebody else that wants to participate as a subcommittee to talk about this or to bring it back?
I'll be glad to help you, Rick.
Thank you.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Where does that leave us this evening?
What staff is requesting, there was a motion made by the chair to approve the funding, and then it just was delayed because there was a question. So staff is looking to see if there's a second and a vote.
I second that we approve this.
And before we start the vote, I'm going to ask for public comments. If you're a member of the public and you'd wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand. And I see none, so I'll go ahead and start the e-vote. If Chair Rudolph, if you'd please, let me change the screen over so the public can see. 1 second. Okay, it looks like we did have a motion by Chair Rudolph and a second by Vice Chair Liebelt, and motion passes 4-1.
Thank you, Antonio, and your commission. Very much appreciate it, and it will be a great event for the city.
I'm going to stick around and hear your next.
Yeah. They are more famous than Hurricane Hillary, so putting Cathedral City's name on the map.
Right.
Next, we move to the next item.
And this item is the discussion of the Cathedral City's Got Talent show. The sponsor on this is Chair Rudolph.
Along with Vice Chair Liebelt. We're both for subcommittee.
My bad. I just have you as the main sponsor, so.
Okay. What I have done, and we've talked off and on about the possibility of reviving the talent show, which last occurred either in 2018 or 19, I'm not quite sure, but it was funded during that time. So I have put together a broad outline of what perhaps may work, and what I would like to do is present it to the rest of the commission. And if you have any questions or additions, detractions, anything, just let me know. But it's all sort of out there at this point. So I'm taking the name that the talent contest had last time, which was Cathedral City's Got Talent, and it's going to be providing a showcase for the citizens of Cathedral City to display their various talents in a mild competition culminating in a public performance to be judged by municipal luminaries. The event will be sponsored by the Public Arts Commission in coordination with the Cathedral City Public Library and the Cathedral City Senior Center, and perhaps a third venue. I'm still working on that. I did not want to dedicate their dedication until it was correct. So the qualifications that I see it as for each of the individual talent, they must reside in Cathedral City, must prepare a performance lasting less than 5 minutes, can be suitable only for families, so nothing too risque, can be a song, dance, recitation, or performance piece, or maybe something else. It can be a single performer or group under 5 persons. Must provide pre-recorded music or accompaniment on CD. Sound equipment will be provided. There are going to be 3 age groups for each one of the preliminary auditions. The first will be under 18. The second will be 18 to 54, not 55, that's a typo. And then 55 and older. Not that we're going to be checking IDs, but just that way we get the library and the kids involved in their own way, and we get the seniors in their own way involved with the senior center. These are all just times, days of the week out there at this point. These are all subject to change. But we would have one night, we would have the auditions for the kids at the library. Another night, we would have the participants 19 to 54 at the library, or at this undisclosed second place that I'm working on. And then the last night, a Thursday night, if the case may be, all participants over 55 at the senior center. I thought that would be smart to break them down. That way there wouldn't be a lot of people, on top of each other. And if we would get the required results of getting the word out there, we could have a lot of people, especially in the lower and the upper categories. I'm more worried about the people our age that work and don't think they have any talent anymore. But all of these, each of these panels, these discussions, each of this preliminary will not be open to the public. They will just be individuals that will be judged by a 3-panel person in a closed audition. The panel will select what they believe to be the best 3 entries. They can have entrees too if they like, at the end of the audition per group. So we'll have 3, 3, and 3, and that will be a performance that will be a final performance that will be the actual Cathedral City's Got Talent show. And that will be at a space to be named later, either CV Rep, Cathedral City High School, or the amphitheater. And that will happen that following week. And I was thinking especially, I'm hoping that we can get this together if it moves forward in the spring, and there's so much going on in the spring, not only within the city, but the entire valley, that a Monday night would be good to make sure we had a full house for everybody that was appreciating it. So the event will consist of the 9 entries from each of the 3 groups. These performances are to be judged by 5 local well-known personalities. They can be somebody from city council, they can be an entertainer, they can be, I'm not sure, maybe we'll get, a local politician outside of council even to come. But just somebody to be able to, like they do on the television talent shows, somebody who can also bring in people, but be able to have a worldly view of what they appreciate as good talent, instead of somebody who is, say, from the theater or from the music business on there trying to judge people based on what their preconceived notions of talent might be. At the end of the evening will be hosted by Conrad Corral as Master of Ceremonies. I have already asked him if he would be interested in that, and he said he definitely would. At the end of the event, awards will be given to one performance from each of the 3 groups, and a special award will be given for the best in the city out of each of those 3 that won each of their groups. So like I said, it's just a preliminary outline just to get things done. I'm not quite sure what happened originally. Nobody's around at this point that can either remember it that far back or not there. So it was sort of starting from scratch. But I think it'd be a good thing for the city in 2 ways. It would be great to get everybody together, which is important, and then to be able to show what the Public Arts Commission is doing as far as, instead of just sponsoring, say the jazz concert or something like that, that we're actually maintaining and getting something out there from the public that we started from scratch. And that was what happened with the Public Arts Commission for the first 10 years, and it's gone to the wayside, well before I arrived 4 years ago. So anybody have any questions, discussions, or things that they'd like to add?
Yeah. So
I like that.
Jump in early this
I'm
time.
taking notes.
Okay.
So I see here the budget hasn't been determined yet, but just generally, like the categories, what do you anticipate having a cost? Like, are the prizes going to be like sponsored by businesses, or are we paying for those directly, or is there like what are
Our purview, our mandate will not allow actual prizes to be given out. So we're going to find either an outside sponsor to pay for those, or the city is going to find a way perhaps to make it could be something as simple as just a framed certificate, something that won't cost much money or any money at all. So, but the venue and the cost should be very minimal, and that's why I'm working on, I'm trying to figure out, if we want to go forward on this, then I'm going to start getting things in a more cemented way as far as that. But I can't imagine, other than paying for a sound operator, perhaps if we would do it in a certain space, I don't know if we're going to need to pay staff, to be able to run that. So these are things we'll find out when we determine exactly where the venue is going to be. We don't really have to worry about the senior center or the library. They won't charge us anything.
Okay. Yeah, and then I guess the other question I was going to have is around staffing, and if what our role would be in addition to.
Commissioner Mojica, I'm so sorry. I'm having
am I
a
too
hard
far?
time hearing you.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Staffing question.
Yeah, well, I would like us all, 5 of us, to be part of this. And each night we're going to need to have such, in the theatrical terms, a stage manager or production manager, somebody who is going to be saying, oh, thank you, Georgette Engel, for showing up. I'm glad you're here. You'll be number 3 tonight. And then to get through those first 3, items, I would hope that everybody would be willing to help, and so we would not have to hire anybody or have to stress anybody outside of us in making sure that it ran in an organized and a thorough and effective way.
Okay, and then another question. So for the 3 separate nights of auditions, would you have the same panel of judges, or would that require recruiting 3 different?
I would like to recruit different ones, to get the variety. It all depends on who's going to be interested. Maybe one of us needs to be on the panel each 3 of the nights too.
I was going to say, one of us should, one of us has to should represent
Yeah,
us.
that way
yes.
we can make, and then work with another 2. Maybe they're people from other commissions, maybe people from around town. All that, like I said, is to be determined, but it is definitely a good question.
Okay, and then last one is around timeline. So what do you?
Sometime in the late winter or early spring is what I would like to see it at. Because there is a lot of things when you're dealing with kids that go on at the beginning of the school year when they get back in January. I know there's, and if we're thinking about the talent, there's going to be people from the choir, from the band, from the drama department at the high school who are going to want to take place with this. And I know that a lot of things that they do start right after that. So I'm hoping that once those things settle down, say, February, March, April, somewhere there, the school play will be over by then. The band concert will be well into rehearsal, so if they miss one night of practice, it won't be the end of the world. So that's why I was thinking of that. I was thinking of my old teaching days, and I remember how busy January and February could be. Back home, we did it because it was too cold to go outside, so we kept busy inside.
Thank you.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I think we talked about this last time you brought it up. The reason for the Cathedral Senior Center being on there, will they be putting in funds?
We are doing this, I would like to do this in coordination with them, not cooperation. I want us to pay for whatever minimal funds that it's going to be, only because they are both, the library is a different thing, but the senior center is a nonprofit. And it works as a nonprofit. So I don't see any reason why you would ask a nonprofit organization other than to cooperate with us, coordinate with us for any type of money.
I think for me, instead of the senior center being on that, I actually think that we should work with the parks, to tell you the truth, and we probably could have this in our own amphitheater and actually make it our own Cathedral City thing instead of bringing in a nonprofit, which I don't even think that we need to bring them in, to tell you the truth. I think we have enough people between the 2 commissions to actually run this through, as a city event.
Could be. I just wanted to make sure the seniors were involved.
The seniors can be more involved as being people who actually participate. I just don't see why the thought process of doing it with the senior center, when the senior center can actually come and just participate and not have to do anything.
I just like the idea of their space, too, that we had an evening. One space that we wouldn't have to pay for any.
We wouldn't have to pay for anything if we came here and did it in the amphitheater, and it makes this a more city event.
My concern with the amphitheater is weather, one, especially in the winter, so to have it canceled.
So we can do it in February or March.
Yeah, that's when the rain hits. Yeah, so that's my biggest concern. And I know with the Parks Commission, it's always a concern with them, too. We've had a couple events that have been rained out. One got winded out. The other concern that I have on the amphitheater, which I love, don't get me wrong, I think it's great, is there's the seating is going to be, everybody, who would have to come, we could have it open to the public then and not have to worry about tickets, but you'd have to bring your own chairs, and I'm a little worried about the acoustics in there too. And I have been in I can't think of the event. It was
This is a talent show, though, not like a concert. And I think this just opens it up, like you said, it opens it up to community, and the fact that you can bring your lawn chair or you can bring I think it's a great opportunity to get kids and the band, and it's just outside. And I mean, like I said, in doing it this way, you can actually work with parks and be able to get this across. I just don't see why, I get, okay, Cathedral City Public Library, but we don't need to have this in the library, because I think they were having it in the library before because we didn't have an amphitheater. Now we have our own spot to do this.
It was done at the high school last time.
Okay, but again, we didn't have our own amphitheater.
I'm just concerned about the vastness of
Can I ask, I think, just a clarifying question? So the senior center and the library, you're only looking at to do for the auditions, not for the actual performance to the public, correct?
for their outreach to be able to get the possibility of talent in.
Got
Because
it.
they have already their venues in place, both, social media and all of the other things that they have, that we could get this. My biggest concern with this, and can't say what worked the last time, is that we go and throw a party and nobody shows up.
Were you involved in this last time?
No, this was well before my time.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's my biggest concern, is to try to keep things tighter and using already proven venues and cooperations, that we can make sure that we're going to have a full house, that we're going to have people show up to audition. That's a major concern for me, and why
But did we use those venues last time?
we did.
And people didn't show up?
No, I don't know. That's what I said. There's nobody around to continue.
Okay, so is there any way that you can look in to see how many people we did have show up at these places? Because honestly, I would like to see us use our amphitheater and this be between the two commissions and actually make it a city thing and the city putting it on.
I have no problem with that.
But if you could find out numbers just to see how well that went, that'd be great. Thank you.
And Commissioner Herrera, are you looking to use the amphitheater for the auditions as well as for the performance?
I think the library itself would probably be good enough for those 2 days, and I'm pretty sure, I don't, if that's where they were held before, I'm not really sure where they were held, but I thought it was in the library. So I don't know why we're going over to the senior center and putting it on them when we can literally have the things at the library, have the event in the amphitheater, and then the senior center can actually come and just be involved. They wouldn't have to work anything, they wouldn't have to do it, but just simply be involved as one of the community members. I think that would be great. But that's what I was looking for, Ann.
We will have to look at what the cost of the amphitheater is, just for who's going to run the audiovisual.
I'm pretty sure we probably can ask council about that, because I'm pretty sure council will probably be ecstatic that we're doing something for the city.
Right, but there's just, it's a contracted agent that does the production of that, for the lighting and for the audio. And then I think the other question is, I don't know if anyone knows this. I'm, again, being new to the city's events. I don't know that the city has, or what kind of supply of seating we have, or whether we rent that. And so if the desire would be that if the amphitheater was used and there was need for seating to be provided, that would just be a cost of rentals that would have to be added to the.
If I may, Ann, I do have
a okay.
on that. So we do not have enough chairs or tables for an event. We usually rent those at a cost to us.
Correct, but we've never had events where there was no tables and chairs. Is that what we're saying?
No, I'm saying as far as if we needed like seating, like rows of seating.
Right, so have we ever had an event in there where we didn't provide seating, like everybody else came out and provided their own seating? It's sort of like we do right now with Pilates or whatever we're doing, yoga in the park.
Chairs and their
right, and I'm saying that gives it more of a feeling of a community event, right? You bring your lawn chair, you bring your blanket, lay it out, watch what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to make this so hard, is what I'm saying. And it'd be great, because this would be, again, like you were stating, a city thing that we're putting on as the Arts Commission. If we want to do it with somebody else, that's great. But the point is, it brings it back to our own people in our own town. And I think that's what you're getting at, correct? Yep.
And that is true. And we would pay. Part of the budget would be paying to have an audiovisual person anyway, wherever we.
Yeah, and I wasn't making a recommendation. It was just making a point of information that if that was a desire, if the amphitheater is available, and if that was a desire, that what the city has available for those kind of events and what we don't.
I have a question. So do you have an I guess you said final performance would be held in the evening at 7 p.m. Do you have an idea of how long the program would run? I'm just thinking, like, if you built in something earlier, like it might help draw people out if you have like some other things going on at the same time to use the space
These
too.
are just numbers that I threw out there.
Okay, cool.
I figure, so if we have 9 entries, and they're each 5 minutes and 5 minutes in between to get them on and off stage, so that's 90 minutes, that's an hour and a half. You add some commentary by the Master of Ceremonies, that's another 10, 15 minutes. So you're looking like an hour and 45 minutes, I would imagine.
Okay. Yeah, so especially if it is like a family event or something, you could have something a little earlier. Or I was thinking about when I attended the Taste of Jalisco event, and they had like food trucks and things like that. So I don't know if that's like the vibe that you're going for, but there are lots of ways to use that space that could draw more people in if you were worried about Yeah.
That was always my concern, is making sure that people attend.
I really like the idea of the amphitheater as well, because I do think it makes it a community event. My two concerns are weather, wind, of course, and seniors. They're not going to bring their own chairs. I think that we could provide, to accommodate them, there should be some provision for seating. I love the idea of a family coming and bringing a picnic, because that's what I would do.
Right.
But we would have to accommodate and allow for there are people that are going to need seating, are going to need help. There could be people like in wheelchairs. We want to But yeah, I like the idea of using that, but you're right. That's the one thing about March especially, is the windy month. And so it's, that's a tricky one, but yes. Yeah.
That's always an
So February, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can work this out to where, if we're going to be as scared every time there's wind, then we're just never, as a city, going to use our amphitheater. And it's made to bring in the city.
We can wait till July.
Then they're going to roast out there, right? Like,
If we do it in February or March, we should probably think about, as Commissioner Mojica suggested, doing it earlier, because it's chilly still in the evenings at that point. And, if we start at 5 o'clock, is the sun still up at 5?
yes.
Yeah.
5:30.
But then again, we have to check, do the lights work properly in day presentations? Can you ask a couple questions about the technical aspects of the amphitheater, such as, is the lights that are there, because we wouldn't want to rent any extra ones.
No, we don't. I don't believe we rent anything, but I'll check with Ryan.
And then check what it would cost to have a sound technician and a lighting technician at just that last event. We won't need them, I don't believe, for the auditions. If we get a nice boom box that has a MP3 reader in it, we can get everybody's accompaniment for the singers or dancers, if the case may be, for the preliminary auditions. But as I said, this is just some ideas, some outlines that I threw. I mostly wanted to hear from everybody if this is something that we want to do and move forward on.
My one other question is, what if there's more than, 3 good acts in each of those categories? I know we could play with that.
That would be what the panels decide. It's going to be not objective, it'll be subjective. But any talent contest is, even the ones, if you've been to the ones where they put their hands over somebody and have the audience applause, it's whoever had the most friends in the audience. So, that's just the way that the beast is built.
Right.
Any other questions about that? So I will keep, and Craig and I will keep on formulating with that, thinking and taking in the notes that everybody said, and we'll bring another outline with maybe some more details and maybe some subtractions, and we'll just keep on working this. Like I said, we've got time on this, but I did want to get it moving. Okay. Are there any public comments?
I did not receive any requests to speak. If you're a member of the public and wish to speak on this item, please raise your hand. We do have one. Please state your name for the record.
Okay. Hi, my name is Gary Marshall. Actually, I'm a former chairman for the Parks Commission, and I'd like to thank you for hearing the earlier conversation with Antonio. I put on quite a few parties and events when I was on the commission, and I think I just wanted to mention one thing, and I know that Ed maybe hasn't had a lot of experience with this part of it, but there is a form you need to fill out that has to go to the council. The council has to approve. There's a fee to use the amphitheater, and they would have to waive that unless they want you to pay for it. So there's a certain process, and since we're talking about formalities tonight, that would definitely be one of them. You should go through that process. And it's a really good form to fill out because it asks you exactly what you need, if you need security, if you're going to have liquor, that type of thing. So you can get one of those right on the online with the website. So
it's a special events permit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that just goes to, I guess it would go to.
It goes to Ryan.
Ryan,
was here
sure.
earlier.
To Ryan, then he can help you with that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the insight.
Thank you for your information. That was great.
Okay. Next, we have staff comments.
Commissioners, I don't have much for this evening. I did want to make the commissioners aware that tomorrow night at our city council study session At 4 o'clock, the City Council are going to be recognizing the outgoing commissioners, and the only outgoing commissioner we have that's being recognized is Deanna. And so that's going to be at 4 o'clock.
Her birthday's today.
Oh, even better. So she'll be recognized at 4 o'clock tomorrow if any of you are available and would like to join. The Public Arts Commissioners are also going to be recognized at the City Council meeting for the very successful movie event. So whatever the council is doing at 4 o'clock, if they're not between items, they will be stopping at HARD at 4 o'clock to do those recognitions. So I just wanted to extend that invitation. And then after the last meeting, I had a question about email addresses for the commissions. And I haven't, being that I just got back from vacation today, the only thing that I've been able to ascertain is that currently none of the commissions or commissioners have individual city email addresses. All of those go toward or go to whoever the staff liaison is, but I haven't been able to find anything more than that. So that's as far as I've gotten on that discussion. And then just confirmation that the mural at Patriots Park has already been repaired. So the gentleman that actually did that artwork originally, Chair brought that individual last time, and we connected him up with Deanna in Public Works, and he's completed that work. So the damaged door, there was a door that got smashed in, which damaged the artwork. That's been taken off, removed, and he's completed the artwork. So that looked really great. That is all that I have for a report this evening.
Thank you very much. Commissioner comments? Guess we'll start with Commissioner Herrera.
I'm not allowed to ask a question about that, am I?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Am I allowed to ask a question about that?
Sure.
Her statement?
You can ask questions of staff, yes.
Yeah.
You cannot discuss anything as a commission.
Do you know if they did they clean Ming's statue? Because I know we're having Fields of Valor on November 4th, so I just want to make sure Ming's statue got cleaned while they were out there also.
I'll check with Public Works and I'll let you know. I wasn't aware. But.
Sunshine, that was when we did the inventory of damage and debris, that was on the list, so hopefully they did do it.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because
Yeah.
But it looked great. I did check and see. It looks great.
Thank you.
I don't really have a comment, so I just looking forward to the next meeting. Yeah.
Commissioner Travis?
Thank you. I know that on the 16th, we funded a jazz performance, and it was really nice at the senior center. Tom was there working the food table, right? Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. But it was pretty amazing. They did like a jam session with all local jazz. It was like really quality. I felt like I went somewhere. I had such a good time. It was very nice. And then went to Perez Road on the fourth Friday, and I met the lady who talked earlier. She's an excellent artist. And I got through most of them. I'm an artist, and what happens, I can only go to so many galleries, and my head explodes. It just does. I get all these ideas, and I just had to. I've actually sat down in a museum and just sat there for a while. It's just overwhelming. There's so many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful artists that we have, and so that was. And then what's happening? The next Perez Road is that the senior center is sponsoring an art show for the seniors. It's the seniors. I'm a senior, so I happen to. My art will be there. I have 3 pieces that will be there. Each of us are donating 1 piece that will go directly to the funds will go directly to the senior center, and then the other ones will be they get a portion of it too. So that's at the J.J. Harrington Center for and if you're a Cactus Club member, you can go early as the silent auction for the ones that are donated. Or it will be up for that, so that's kind of exciting. And what else? I think that meeting with Antonio, meeting with Ted at the Mary Pickford, I don't know what it is, but I just want to put it out there for everybody else to he's really good to work with, and he likes the city. And he even, we could even have him come talk someday if you want to, of any potential things that might spark an interest. I don't know, maybe maybe it's something like poetry. I don't know. Maybe it's something different that out of the box. But I just thought, whoa, this is a good resource, and so hopefully we can tap into him, and he's pretty excited about us doing something with him. So that was good. And then I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Commissioner Mojica.
Thank you. Commissioner or Vice Chair Liebel and I had a chance to meet to plan out our timeline between now and the next meeting, to put together the timeline, guidelines, and everything that we'll need to move forward with the Ocotillo Park project. We're hoping to get Ryan's assistance with putting out a flyer out to the community, sharing about the opportunity, and again, the artist guidelines. So whether that's a mailer or social media or all of the above, we'll work on that and putting together that content. And then we'll be reaching out to some local organizations and artist groups to make sure that they're aware of the opportunity as well, and start sharing out the kind of FYI, be on the lookout for more information type of notice over the next few weeks. And so next month, next meeting, we'll have our formal announcement of the opportunity is our goal. Thank you.
Commissioner Legal?
Yes, in regards to that too, it's like I already spoke to, I'm really happy to see like some of the artists from the Perez Art Group show up at the meetings, because I think the more public and the more they come and show up, the more we know that they, that they're present and they're what we do in the requests sort of thing. So I've talked to another one of them and told them about the opportunity coming up to do the park benches, and we're going to go specifically after different arts organizations to put that out there. We found the email. Again, Ann, addressing your thing about the email, when they put out a call for artists for the bridge, it was Stone's email address, and it was like the liaisons were the contact person for that. So that kind of sort of pre-answered that question for me too. So hearing Ryan's list of the events, I'm really excited about what's happening here in Cathedral City. And it's, because it is where art lives. And whether it's Dia de los Muertos or the Mayan Festival, like culturally, it's just really rich to see the diversity. Because again, some of our other sister cities in the valley, I don't know that I've seen that level of, that range. And but my eyes are opening more and more to more things that are going on. I didn't realize. So I'm glad for the city's newsletter. That all the information that gets out there, because now I'm going through it, and I just got the snail mail book in the mail, and I literally looked at every single page to make sure I wasn't missing something. So yes, I agree, there's issues about does everyone have access to email? Can everyone get the email version, the snail mail, the print versions? When Crystal and I had gone to Ocotillo Park and talked to some of the people there, that community is very interested in their park, but they said it was a combination of both, that they need a physical mailer and that because not everybody there has access to email. So, and again, Crystal and I, we are planning, we want to go do another where we just go camp out in the park and bring treats and talk to people, because we really want to let them know that we want their input and what's going to happen there with the benches, because it's definitely a community thing. So
we agree with you on the outreach. When the city did its survey late last year, one of the things that was, I think, and I can't remember what the percentage was, but it was a really high percentage of people said that the majority of the way that they get information from the city is by the mailer and by snail mail. And it really was, I think, eye-opening to, again, I think with so much focus on social media and the electronic communication, that there is really a large portion of our community that really uses the more tangible forms of communication of getting information. And so I think that is a very valid point to, that I think we struggle with always, of making sure that we're trying to get the best reach on our outreach.
So part of our question was, the Ocotillo Park, is there a way to target that neighborhood and do a mailer just to that neighborhood? That was a question we were going to ask for Ryan, so we can get that to make sure that we have that neighborhood's input. And
I'm sure there's ways to get a mailing list, to do a direct mailer to something like that.
Great. So yeah, I think it's going to be you know, like Tom and I have talked many times about the things that we really want to see accomplished and done, like the park and the town and stuff like that too. So I just think it's going to be a great year. I think it's going to be a great year for the Valley. And like I said, just listening to those events and the range of those events just makes me excited to be a citizen of Cathedral City.
Oh, that's me then.
Now it's your turn.
Okay, I just want to reiterate what Commissioner Travis said about the jazz concerts. That was number 4. We still have number 5 that's coming. It's the first Saturday of December between 3 and 5. Admission is free, just need to RSVP to the Senior Center, and it was a really good use of money. As Rick said, we had to bring in extra chairs last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. There was such a demand, and we had, was it 5 visiting singers from bars and clubs and restaurants. Keisha D was there, you know, who's one of the big entertainers of the Valley. She made time for that. And we were told by Eve Holmes, who runs the entire thing, that this next and last one will be even more exciting. Mm-hmm. So make sure that everybody gets out there for that. Other than that, I think things are going well. I just want to keep moving forward, and I want to introduce something that's important here, and that is the new item that we're going to start bringing in every one of the commission meetings, and that's future agenda items. And this is a good time for you all to either hash out some ideas that have been rolling around in your head, or bring us an idea that you know that you're ready to present to the council. To the commission, pardon me, and it'll be sort of like a free flow of ideas. It also is good stimulation to think about things between the next meeting, and more importantly, to get them to Christina and Ann 2 weeks before that next meeting, because that's the deadline under normal circumstances for any of the agenda items. So if you want to bring something to the commission, a project, that's what we're all here for. We're not just here to funnel them all through the leadership. It's for all 5 of our members. So, welcome to the future agenda.
So are there any future agenda items that anyone would like to bring forward?
Yes, matter of fact, I would like to revive one. And this, I need your help with, Christina. We had talked to Mayor Lamb about the possibility of a 5th grade field trip to the to City Council chambers to talk about civics, and I would like it to be half of presenting the art of downtown Cathedral City. I don't remember, it was not me, but 2 of the people on the commission at the time had volunteered to be the subcommittee. If you could find out who those 2 people are, I could find it on my records, and notify them to and hopefully they're both still interested.
We did find this. I was looking for it because I think we had found it.
I do have it in my notes, and I do apologize. I don't have it up the top.
Just a question. Can we even do this? Because this is not on the agenda.
It's just a clarifying question, but this is for the future agenda to bring the whole discussion.
Does it need to be on the agenda?
No, so as long as we don't discuss it, if he's just letting you all know what he wants to bring back to a future
Okay,
meeting.
so we're not discussing it right now. He's just talking, because it sounds like I just want to make sure we're doing this right.
What I want is whoever those 2 people are to reach out to Mayor Lamb and get this thing rolling so we can also have it available in the spring. Because I don't know what's going to go on. Nobody knows what's going on next year. But if it can be done in the spring, we will make sure that Mayor Lamb will still be on the city council by then. I don't know if she's planning to run again, but I want it to be done if she had such an interest at the time that she was still here. So whoever those 2 people are, if you could reach out to the mayor, introduce yourselves, remind her of what the mission was, and get it rolling, and then let us know when you're ready to present it to the commission, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so we're not bringing this item back to like the next meeting, to a future meeting, possibly.
I'm not talking about it, I'm just reminding
Okay,
everybody.
I will look into that and coordinate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We had it. We just can't easily find and tell you who your 2 representatives are, but we'll get that back to you.
So are there any other ideas for future agenda items? at this point. This is new. I guess you might have seen it, when you were emailed the agenda as a whole. But this is something we're going to do every meeting. So when you're formulating your ideas, bring them out and we will talk about them. And that way you can get some insight from the other commissioners if it's something you want to move forward with. Other than that, I'd like to adjourn the evening, the October 10th, 2023 Public Arts Commission ending at 6:53. Thank you very much.